Welcome to today's Explainer. Today we are tracking down a massive macroeconomic mystery. We're talking about government gold reserves. Okay, to kick things off, let's think about a question that gets right to the very foundation of our modern economic system. When was Fort Knox last physically weighed? Seriously, think about it.
All right, Section 1, the Phantom Gold Audit and uncovering that crazy 40-year gap.
Now, Treasury officials regularly claim that Fort Knox is audited every single year. But the research we're exploring highlights a really stark contrast. See, a true physical audit, that means walking right into the vault and physically weighing the actual hard assets. But what's actually happening instead? They're auditing a schedule, which is basically just reviewing a 20-page paper report. So it really makes you wonder, right? If the gold hasn't been physically weighed in 4 whole decades, what exactly is hiding behind that paper trail?
Moving right along to Section 2, the printing press problem and the hidden tax of inflation. This mystery over at Fort Knox isn't just some abstract puzzle for economists. It connects directly to your savings. Our source material, analyzing the strategies of CPA Bryan, frames it absolutely perfectly. It points out that the government can print trillions of dollars backed by absolutely nothing, but they can't print gold, copper, or Bitcoin.
And this massive money printing, it creates what the source calls a hidden tax. Because when the money supply expands infinitely without being backed by physical assets, well, your dollars lose their purchasing power. It's kind of like pouring water into your coffee. Eventually, you're just drinking brown water, right? This hidden tax just quietly, almost invisibly, devalues your hard-earned labor and drains your savings.
Which brings us to Section 3, the 60-40 portfolio trap, and why old strategies just fail. So how do we actually react to this? Well, CPA Bryan argues that the traditional financial advice we've heard for decades, the classic 60-40 split of stocks and bonds, is actually a total trap during periods of high inflation. When paper currency is being rapidly devalued, relying completely on traditional paper-based instruments just leaves you totally vulnerable to a system that's actively working against you.
All right, Section 4, the opportunity bucket strategy and protecting your purchasing power.
So if that 60-40 split is a trap, here is CPA Bryan's proposed defense. The math is pretty straightforward. You still maintain 80% of your wealth in traditional assets, but you deliberately carve out a specific 20% opportunity bucket. This 20% allocation is dedicated entirely to high conviction plays. It acts as a strategic anchor, essentially to protect your purchasing power when fiat currency inevitably struggles.
So what actually goes into this 20% bucket? Well, the source points to high-conviction plays like silver, uranium, Bitcoin, and copper. And why those? Because they all share one absolutely critical characteristic. The government cannot print them out of thin air. When your regular savings are losing value, these finite, hard assets are actually positioned to thrive.
But look, it is super vital to emphasize a core philosophy here. This is about smart investing, not wild gambling. Carving out this bucket isn't about reckless risk or just throwing money at the wall. It's a highly calculated response to the printing press problem. You're just reallocating a portion of your wealth into assets that, mathematically speaking, simply cannot be inflated away.
And finally, Section 5, building your financial fortress and staying ahead of the system.
Let's take a second to summarize the massive contrast we've explored today. On one side, you have the highly vulnerable paper economy. We're talking 20-page schedules masquerading as real audits, fiat money backed by absolutely nothing, and that 60-40 trap. But then on the other side, you have the resilient hard economy, physically weighed gold, finite assets, and a proactive 20% opportunity bucket. These are two entirely diverging paths.
So, to help you stay on the right side of this equation, our source highly recommends subscribing to Hidden Techs. By joining their community, they argue you're going to gain the crucial insights needed to prevent inflation from silently draining away your future. We'll conclude today's explainer right here with a really crucial question to chew on. Is your financial fortress built on a paper trail or hard assets? Just think about that 40-year gap at Fort Knox. Think about the hidden tax of the printing press, and take a hard look at your own savings. Which column do you fall into? Keep learning, keep questioning, and hey, thank you so much for joining me to unpack all of this today.